إن أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والاشتراك في القناة.
And do you young ladies feel like there's a pressure among girls to maybe behave like the porn starlets?
If we started like behaving like a porn star, we'd get called slut. But if the boys do, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. When girls go around having sex with boys, and then the boys do, they're called a slag. But when a boy,
they get like it's like an achievement.
It's an achievement. Like they'll be like,
it's just boys.
It's like good on you, mate. Like, but with a girl, it's not good.
Do you think that promotes young people using that language about
it does.
Women? Do you agree with it?
Depends what they've done, innit? Like, obviously, if you just hear about a girl sleeping with loads of boys, and you're not going to be attracted to it, are you?
I think some boys, like, the way they speak about girls, sometimes they forget that, like, when they're older, would they want boys to speak about their daughter like that?
That's true. I started to think about that recently as well. Would I like it if another boy was talking about my sister like that or doing things with my sister?
I'm amazed that these 15 and 16-year-olds seem to know so much about the porn that's out there and that they understand the impact that it's having on them. But it's no surprise to people like sex educator Lynette Smith, who work with teenagers every day.
I've been involved in sex education for about 20 years now, and it was literally one summer. One summer we saw a change, and that was summer 2002. Now, most of the classes at that time we worked just in senior schools, in year 9s and year 10s, which is 14 and 15-year-olds. And up until that, in a class of 30, we would maybe have 3 lads out of the 15 in the class that had accessed pornography. And that would have been through Fiesta magazines, that type of...
Top shelf.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then after that summer, when everybody seemed to get the internet piped into their homes, in the September, the October, we found that it was only 3 lads out of 15 that hadn't actually accessed pornography. It was literally that quick.
And now, 1 in 3 9 to 16-year-olds in the UK has access to the internet via their mobile phone. So the days when porn had an age limit that could be enforced are long gone. The government says it's clamping down on easy access to porn, encouraging internet providers to introduce new filters only adults can lift. But some say it's too late, and that countless children have already been exposed to shocking images at an age when I was still playing with dolls. So how do we know for sure just how much online porn teenagers are seeing? And what effect does that have on them? To find out, we've carried out the biggest survey of its kind ever done in the UK. Over 1,000 people aged between 16 and 21 took part, answering questions on everything to do with porn. How old they were when they first saw it, how often they watch it now, and how they think it affects what men and women expect from sex. Their answers were sent anonymously to a market research company. And then we got 2 of the country's leading experts on pornography and sexualisation to help us analyse the results.
What was so exciting about this was that it was an opportunity to really go to a large number of young people in the UK, which is where there hasn't been a lot of research in the past, and really get them to tell us what they thought, what they felt.
The answers that young people gave us in the survey were so interesting, so inspiring, so thoughtful. This is the biggest survey in the UK that has been done of young people's experiences and really gives them a chance to talk about what they think about pornography, and they did. They had really interesting, thoughtful things to say.
At the same time, I also talked to dozens of teenagers aged 14 and up from all over the UK, so we could get the most accurate picture yet of the truth about young people and porn.
It boosts confidence of men a lot more, and it makes them think, well, you know, it's not as, it looks quite easy, or, you know, I could do that.
My brother, he's 13, and I wouldn't like the idea of him at all, like looking at porn and sexual things like that, because I don't think it's sort of real life. It's all like an act, and it's not really sort of sex.
Most young boys, they like, before they actually go to have sex, they do like watch porn to get a bit of experience and knowledge in the whole game.
First in our survey, we asked people to tell us how old they were when they first saw porn online, including downloads. The average age for first-time porn viewing turned out to be 14 years old, but that doesn't give the whole picture. Just over 60% of those who answered the question told us they were 14 years old or younger the first time they saw pornography online. Nearly a quarter were 12 or younger, and 7% said they were 10 years old or younger.
Having seen how easily accessible it is, that I shouldn't be surprised by the fact that 7% of our respondents were 10 or younger when they first came across porn, but I'm still horrified. As a grown woman, I'm horrified seeing these images. I can't imagine seeing that through the eyes of a child.
Our survey also asked young people why they look for porn. Perhaps not surprisingly, the most common reason given was that men and women use it for sexual stimulation or as an aid to masturbation. However, around 10% of the 1,000 young people said that while men look at porn for sexual pleasure, young women do so in order to learn about sex. As one young woman put it, women for education, men for arousal. And that worries me, because if they're turning to porn to learn, how much of what they're seeing is a true reflection of what sex is really like? I'm going to meet a woman who should know. She describes herself as Britain's highest paid porn star.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm Jamila.
Nice to meet you.
How's things?
Good, thank you.
Gemma Massey appeared in more than 20 porn films over a 2-year period, but she's now left the industry.
Oh my God. Your shoes have a bedroom.
I know.
This is amazing.
Make a whole bedroom just for my clothes and shoes.
That's a weapon. That's not a shoe.
Although Gemma stopped working in porn 2 years ago, her films are on the internet forever.
Would you ever go back into porn?
No.
Why?
Because no one else would pay me that sort of money to do it, and I would never do it for the standard going rate.
What is the standard going rate?
300 quid.
For what? Would you do for 300 quid? How long does the scene take?
Some companies, 12-hour days. Some girls might need money and think, oh, I'll do anal because I'll get a bit more. And they're not doing it because they want to do it, they're doing it because they need to do it, because they might need money or whatever. Then that's when I'd be like, no. I didn't want to end up how some of the girls have ended up.
What have they ended up like?
Mad in the head. And I
Like,
would never
in what way?
want that. You know, some might have to take drugs to then do the job, which again, I would never want to do
Is
that.
that so that they can be like in another place?
Yeah.
What I want to know is, do you think that porn reflects real sex?
No.
Why?
And I think people need to understand that it's not real. It's not how I would have sex at home at all.
Although Gemma wants people to understand that porn isn't real, I'm not sure she's faced up to the reality of how young a lot of her audience is.
How do you feel about the fact that 11-year-olds now are watching your films?
I know, that is quite disturbing that he's getting younger and younger. They can't really stop it, can they?
What do your family think about the porn?
My mum and dad wasn't too happy about it when I told them, like most parents, I suppose. What parent would want to see their daughter doing porn? It's kind of one of those ones. It's not the most normal.
So you do recognise that it's...
Oh, yeah, I know that it's not normal. Like, it's not normal. That's why I want to get out of it and do something different, because if I was to stay in that industry and carry on, mentally it's just going to mess you up in the head by doing that all the time. You can't do porn forever.
That wasn't what I expected. You know, I've never met a porn star, so I thought I was going to come in here and she's going to be a dominatrix and she's going to be really fierce and sassy. The way that she is portrayed in films and online, she was nothing like that. She's really sweet.
There's some pictures from when I was younger, going from 4 boob jobs.
There's something about her that's almost just not completely there. She's lovely, she's adorable, but she's just almost like in a fantasy world of thinking it's okay, and that's the same fantasy that I feel like kids have when they're watching it.